The camera pans over the bustling set of The View, where the audience is buzzing with excitement as the hosts take their seats at the iconic round table, surrounded by vibrant decorations and the familiar theme music playing in the background. Whoopi Goldberg, dressed in a flowing bohemian outfit, smiles warmly and announces the special guest for the day, none other than the acclaimed actress Scarlett Johansson, known for her blockbuster roles in Marvel films and her Oscar-nominated performances in independent dramas. The crowd erupts in applause as Scarlett strides onto the stage, her elegant black dress hugging her figure perfectly, her blonde hair cascading in loose waves, exuding confidence and poise that only a Hollywood A-lister can muster. She hugs each host briefly, starting with Sunny Hostin, who compliments her latest film, then Sarah Haynes, who gushes about her philanthropic work, and finally settling next to Joy Behar, the veteran co-host with her signature sharp wit and no-nonsense demeanor, wearing a bold red blazer that matches her fiery personality. The conversation kicks off lightly, with Whoopi asking Scarlett about her recent projects, including her voice work in animated features and her ventures into producing, where Scarlett shares amusing anecdotes about working with co-stars and the challenges of balancing motherhood with a demanding career. Laughter fills the air as Scarlett recounts a funny on-set mishap from her time filming a sci-fi thriller, describing how a prop malfunction led to an impromptu dance-off with the crew, which even Joy chuckles at, though her eyes narrow slightly, hinting at the storm brewing beneath the surface. As the segment progresses, the hosts delve into Scarlett's personal life, touching on her marriage to comedian Colin Jost and how they navigate the spotlight together, with Scarlett emphasizing the importance of privacy in an era of constant social media scrutiny. The audience nods along, captivated by her candidness, but Joy interjects with a pointed question about celebrity privilege, asking if Scarlett ever feels out of touch with everyday struggles, given her immense wealth and fame. Scarlett pauses, her smile fading just a touch, as she responds thoughtfully, explaining her efforts to use her platform for advocacy, like supporting women's rights and environmental causes. But Joy presses on, suggesting that such activism might be more performative than genuine, citing examples from other stars who faced similar criticisms. The tension begins to simmer, though the other hosts try to steer the conversation back to lighter topics, like Scarlett's favorite New York spots since she's a native. But Joy's comments linger like a shadow over the interview. Scarlett maintains her composure, sharing stories from her early days in theater and how rejection shaped her resilience, inspiring young aspiring actors in the audience. The segment seems to regain its rhythm, with Alyssa Farah Griffin chiming in about political intersections in Hollywood, and Scarlett offering balanced views on current events without diving too deep. However, as commercials approach, Joy circles back to a controversial lawsuit Scarlett was involved in years ago regarding equal pay, questioning her motives and implying it was a publicity stunt rather than a real fight for justice. Scarlett's eyes flash with irritation, but she responds diplomatically, defending her actions and highlighting the broader industry issues. The audience senses the shift, murmuring softly, as the show cuts to break, leaving viewers at home wondering if the harmony will hold. Upon returning, the discussion heats up further when Joy brings up Scarlett's past comments on diversity in casting, accusing her of hypocrisy for taking roles that could have gone to underrepresented actors, referencing the backlash from her proposed portrayal in a transgender biopic that she eventually stepped away from. Scarlett counters firmly, explaining her growth and commitment to allyship, but Joy doubles down, her voice rising as she labels it as typical white savior complex in Hollywood. The other hosts attempt to mediate, with Whoopi urging calm and Sarah trying to pivot to audience questions, but the exchange grows more pointed, with Scarlett pointing out Joy's own history of controversial statements on the show. The atmosphere thickens, the live audience shifting uncomfortably in their seats, as whispers spread through the crowd about the unfolding drama. Scarlett's face reddens slightly, her hands gesturing emphatically as she articulates her points, while Joy leans forward, her expression unyielding, clearly relishing the debate. This back and forth continues for several minutes, drawing in topics from feminism to cancel culture, with Scarlett advocating for nuanced conversations and Joy pushing for accountability. As the segment drags on, The producers in the control room exchange worried glances, knowing this could go viral for all the wrong reasons. Finally, after a particularly sharp remark from Joy about Scarlett's privileged upbringing, the actress stands up abruptly, her chair scraping against the floor, and declares she's had enough of the personal attacks disguised as journalism. The audience gasps collectively as security personnel appear at the edges of the set, ready to intervene if needed. Whoopi tries to salvage the moment, apologizing on behalf of the show and inviting Scarlett to sit back down, but the damage is done. Scarlett shakes her head, her voice steady but laced with anger, as she thanks the other hosts and the audience before walking off stage, the cameras following her exit amid stunned silence. Back at the table, Joy shrugs nonchalantly, commenting that tough questions are part of the job, while the others look shell-shocked. The show quickly cuts to commercial again, leaving everyone buzzing about what just transpired. In the aftermath, social media explodes with clips of the clash, fans divided between supporting Scarlett's walk-off and praising Joy's boldness. Analysts debate if this was a scripted moment for ratings or a genuine meltdown, but one thing's clear: daytime TV just got a dose of Hollywood drama it won't soon forget. Following the explosive exit, the hosts reconvene without Scarlett, trying to regain composure as Whoopi addresses the audience directly, acknowledging the heated exchange and emphasizing that The View is a place for passionate discussions, even when they turn uncomfortable. Joy defends her line of questioning, insisting it's her role to challenge guests on inconsistencies in their public personas, drawing from her decades of experience in comedy and commentary where no topic is off-limits. Sunny adds a legal perspective, noting how such confrontations highlight broader societal issues like accountability and entertainment, while Sarah expresses regret that things escalated so quickly, wishing for more time to explore Scarlett's positive contributions. Alyssa chimes in about the pressures on women in the spotlight, suggesting empathy on both sides could have diffused the tension. The audience claps sporadically, some cheering Joy's tenacity, others murmuring disapproval at the perceived rudeness. Meanwhile, backstage, Scarlett is seen in a hurried conversation with her publicist, her face still flushed from the ordeal, as crew members offer water and apologies, though she waves them off politely, determined not to let it ruin her day. Rumors swirl immediately online, with Twitter threads dissecting every word exchanged, memes cropping up of Scarlett's stern expression and Joy's smirking retorts. Entertainment news outlets pick up the story within minutes, headlines blaring about the epic clash and speculating on potential fallout for both parties. Scarlett's fans rally in her defense, flooding The View's social media with demands for an apology, while Joy's supporters applaud her for not holding back. In interviews later that day, Scarlett addresses the incident on a podcast, explaining she felt ambushed by the personal nature of the attacks and chose self-respect over enduring it. Joy, on the other hand, doubles down during a radio spot, laughing it off as just another day on the show where sparks fly. The episode's ratings skyrocket, becoming one of the most watched in recent seasons, proving that controversy sells. Analysts point out how this mirrors past View moments, like clashes with politicians or other celebs, reinforcing the show's reputation for unfiltered talk. Scarlett's team issues a statement emphasizing her appreciation for the platform but disappointment in the tone, while ABC executives remain tight-lipped, likely thrilled by the buzz. As the day unfolds, more details emerge from insiders, claiming the producers encouraged Joy to push boundaries for dramatic effect, though no one confirms it officially. Scarlett spends the afternoon in meetings for her next film, brushing off questions from paparazzi with a wry smile, showing her resilience. Joy heads to a book signing, where fans ask about the incident, and she quips that if you can't stand the heat, stay out of the studio. The cultural conversation shifts to boundaries in interviews, with op-eds debating whether hosts overstep or guests are too sensitive. Late-night shows parody the moment, with sketches featuring impersonators reenacting the blow-up to hilarious effect. Scarlett's husband Colin Jost even jokes about it on SNL's Weekend Update, calling it the most entertaining View episode since the last Celebrity Storm-Off. Social media influencers break down body language, noting Scarlett's crossed arms as a sign of defensiveness and Joy's forward lean as aggressive. The View's next episode opens with a recap, the hosts reflecting lightly on the drama without apology, moving swiftly to new topics. Scarlett, ever the professional, promotes her film on other shows without mentioning the incident, focusing on her craft. Yet, the clash lingers in pop culture, inspiring think pieces on feminism's internal conflicts, given both women's vocal support for women's issues. Joy's memoir sales tick up, capitalizing on her tell-it-like hit His Image, while Scarlett's film sees a bump in interest from the publicity. Months later, at award shows, subtle nods to the event occur, with presenters teasing about avoiding view invitations. The incident becomes a case study in media training courses, teaching celebs how to handle hostile environments. Ultimately, both emerge unscathed, their careers bolstered by the notoriety, proving that in showbiz, there's no such thing as bad press. Delving deeper into the prelude of the clash, it's worth noting that Scarlett had been promoting her new biographical drama about a pioneering female scientist, a role that required intense preparation and drew parallels to real-world gender inequalities in STEM fields. On The View, the initial questions revolved around this, with hosts praising her dedication and the film's message. Scarlett elaborated passionately, sharing research anecdotes and how portraying strong women empowers her personally. Joy, however, interjected early with skepticism about Hollywood's portrayal of feminism, questioning if such films truly advance the cause or just profit from it. Scarlett responded by citing box office impacts and cultural shifts spurred by similar movies. But Joy countered with examples of failed promises in the industry. The exchange started civil but built layers of friction as personal histories came into play. Scarlett mentioned her own experiences with sexism in auditions, while Joy shared stories from her stand-up days facing similar barriers. Yet, agreement turned to discord when Joy accused modern stars like Scarlett of having it easier due to social media amplification. The audience sensed the pivot, with some cheering Joy's points and others defending Scarlett's authenticity. Whoopi tried to bridge the gap by highlighting progress, but the momentum favored confrontation. Scarlett's voice rose slightly as she defended her generation's activism, pointing to movements like Me Too that she supported vocally. Joy dismissed it as trendy, sparking the first real flare-up. Sarah attempted humor to lighten the mood, joking about generational gaps, but it fell flat amid the intensity. Sunny brought in data on pay gaps, aligning somewhat with Scarlett, but Joy steered back to criticism. The cameras captured every nuance, from Scarlett's tightened jaw to Joy's animated gestures. Producers signaled to extend the segment, sensing gold in the tension. Audience members whispered, phones discreetly recording for social media. Scarlett pivoted to broader topics, like climate change advocacy, but Joy linked it back to celebrity hypocrisy, mentioning private jets. This hit a nerve, as Scarlett explained her carbon offset efforts, but Joy pressed on relentlessly. The clash peaked when Joy referenced Scarlett's past relationships, implying media manipulation for image. Scarlett shot back, calling it irrelevant and invasive. The hosts intervened, but the damage escalated. Scarlett's decision to leave wasn't impulsive, it followed a barrage of what she perceived as unfair jabs. As she stood, the set fell silent, the weight of the moment palpable. Post-exit, the narrative shifted online, with hashtags trending globally. Feminists debated sides, some seeing Joy as a truth-teller, others viewing Scarlett as victimized. Media outlets analyzed transcripts, noting key phrases that ignited the fire. Scarlett's reps worked overtime on damage control, while Joy embraced the villain role for publicity. The View's format, designed for debate, sometimes crosses into spectacle, and this was Exhibit A. In retrospectives, experts note how such moments reflect societal divides on accountability. Scarlett continued her press tour undeterred, earning sympathy votes. Joy's ratings held steady, her edge intact. The incident inspired fan fiction and parodies, cementing its place in TV lore. Exploring the immediate reactions, social media platforms lit up like fireworks as clips from the episode circulated rapidly, with users dissecting every second of the confrontation between Scarlett and Joy. Twitter, now X, saw #Scarlett vs. Joy trend worldwide, amassing millions of views within hours. as fans posted edited memes superimposing dramatic music over the exchange or creating side-by-side comparisons with famous celebrity meltdowns. Instagram Reels featured influencers reenacting the scene with exaggerated flair, some siding with Scarlett for standing her ground against what they called bullying, while others hailed Joy as a journalistic hero unafraid to ask hard questions. TikTok exploded with duets, where creators reacted in real time, gasping as Scarlett's walk-off and debating if it was justified or overdramatic. Reddit threads and subreddits like r, television and r, pop culture delved into analyses, with users sharing timestamps of pivotal moments and speculating on behind-the-scenes producer involvement. Facebook groups dedicated to daytime TV buzzed with polls asking who won the argument. Results split down the middle. Celebrities weighed in subtly, some like Reese Witherspoon liked pro-Scarlett posts, while others in comedy circles supported Joy's style. News aggregates like BuzzFeed compiled lists of top 10 view clashes, ranking this high due to its live intensity. Scarlett's publicist released a measured statement via her Instagram, thanking fans for support and reiterating her commitment to respectful dialogue, which garnered thousands of likes and comments. Joy, true to form, tweeted a cryptic quip about snowflakes in Hollywood, sparking further backlash and defense. The View's official account posted a teaser for the next episode, hinting at addressing the drama without spoilers. Late-night hosts like Jimmy Fallon and Stephen Colbert incorporated jokes into their monologues, with Fallon impersonating both women in a skit that went viral. Podcasts dedicated episodes to unpacking the psychological dynamics, suggesting ego clashes rooted in generational differences. Scarlett appeared on a friendly talk show the following day, laughing off the incident and focusing on her film's positive reception. Joy guested on a radio program, explaining her intent was to provoke thought, not offense. Viewer ratings for reruns spiked, and streaming services noted increased searches for past View episodes. The cultural ripple extended to op-eds in major papers like the New York Times, discussing media ethics and celebrity interviews. Scarlett's film saw a 20% uptick in ticket pre-sales, attributed to the publicity. Joy's book climbed bestseller lists anew. Both women received interview requests from rival networks, turning the feud into a media goldmine. In private, sources say Scarlett vented to friends about feeling disrespected, while Joy viewed it as par for the course. The incident prompted internal reviews at ABC on guest handling, though no changes were announced. Fan art depicted the clash in comic form, and merchandise like mugs with quotes emerged on Etsy. Ultimately, the event underscored the blurred lines between entertainment and confrontation in modern TV. As the dust settled over the following weeks, the clash between Scarlett Johansson and Joy Behar evolved from a momentary scandal into a broader discourse on civility in public forums, with think tanks and universities incorporating it into media studies curricula to examine power dynamics in talk shows. Scarlett channeled the energy into her advocacy work, announcing a new initiative for women's empowerment in film, partnering with organizations to fund scholarships for underrepresented directors, which received widespread praise and shifted focus from the negativity. Joy, meanwhile, leaned into her provocative persona, guest hosting on comedy specials where she roasted the incident self-deprecatingly, earning laughs and reinforcing her brand as unflinching. The View dedicated a segment to reflecting on heated interviews, with hosts sharing lessons learned without naming specifics, fostering a meta-conversation on their format's strengths and pitfalls. Social media metrics showed sustained engagement, with user-generated content like fan edits and analysis videos amassing billions of impressions. Scarlett's appearance on other platforms, like The Ellen Show successor or podcasts, allowed her to reclaim the narrative, emphasizing growth from adversity. Joy's stand-up tour sold out additional dates, with audiences chanting for View stories. Legal experts debated if defamation suits were viable, but none materialized, as both parties moved on gracefully. Hollywood insiders whispered about blacklists, but Scarlett's projects continued unabated, including a Marvel spin-off. Joy's co-hosts publicly supported her, strengthening team bonds. The audience's divided loyalty highlighted polarized views on accountability versus kindness.